Look, nerds, it's winter, okay? I know I gained some weight, alright? Your boy gotta eat. Your boy gotta eat. But look, I got a new lovely fireplace. Look how warm it is. Don't you guys like my new jacket, my new chair? I love it. If you don't, then fuck off. Well, anyways, we're gonna be talking about a TV show. A TV show that I absolutely fucking love, by the way. It is honestly one of my top 10 favorite TV shows of all time. So, this will be the first time I talk about a TV show on my channel. Now, on this channel, in the past, we talk about video games, we talk about anime, we talk about manga, and maybe in the future we'll talk about movies. But for now, I want to start talking about TV shows, and this TV show is incredible. Now, let's go back in the past, shall we? Let's go back to one of the greatest decades of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the 1980s.
You'll get it. Do it one more time. I got it. Fever. We got it too. Fever. Fever? We got the fever for the flavor of a Pringle. Fever. It's that deep fried taste. Fever. It's that crispy crunch. Fever. Wow, now I've got it. Fever. We got the fever for the flavor of a Pringle. Fever. Fever.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
The reason why the 1980s is regarded as one of the best decades of all time is because they had a lot of great things during this decade. They had great video games like Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda. They had great movies like Die Hard,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Scarface, The Breakfast Club, and of course, as an anime weeb as myself, Akira. They also had great music, like great bands like Iron Maiden, to Metallica, to Motley Crue, to Madonna, and of course, to one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time, Queen. And also in this decade, they had one of the greatest TV show of all time, and that is our topic of this video. Now, this show then came out until late of the 80s, 1989, and it ended in 1993. So I guess we could count it as a 90s show, I guess, but I'm counting it as an 80s show because it's my fucking video. I can do whatever I want on this video. Anyways, guys, let's talk about Quantum Leap and why it is so fucking powerful. Before we talk about why Quantum Leap is a powerful show and its meanings and its background story and its characters, first let's talk about the story. So our main character is Dr. Sam Beckett, and he made an invention that lets him go back in time. Now, if you guys know, in your time fury and your crazy bullshitness, you know going back in the past and changing the past can make huge consequences in the future. For example, let's say you shoot Hitler and he dies. Maybe in the future a new Hitler-like character rises to power and destroys the world. You know, shit like that. But in this show, it makes a little bit of sense when the time travel. I know time travel is not the best storytelling when it comes to anime, video games, you know, etc. But in Quantum Leap, it does make kind of sense. Now, there are rules in Quantum Leap. For example, you cannot leap past your lifetime. So let's say you're born in 1965. you cannot go past 65. So you can't go back in the 50s, you can't go back in the 40s, you have to stick in your timeline. So that's why in the show, you only see Sam Beckett only going to the 80s, sometimes the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, because that's his timeline. And to me, that's a really cool story. Now his side character, the second main character, his name is Al. Basically, he is Sam Beckett's best friend, basically his guardian angel that leads him to his destination. So every time Dr. Sam Beckett has leaped to a character, Al's there to tell him what he needs to do to, go to another person. Now, the whole point of the show is bringing Dr. Sam Beckett back home. So that's why he's leaping to person, and maybe this one last person can be the ticket to home. So that's the whole point of the story, which we'll talk about the ending pretty soon.
Personally, I'd rather be in Vegas.
Vegas? Al, how can you say that? Look around you.
I did look around. I'm glad I'm a hologram. I almost stepped in it.
There's one thing I want to talk about in this show that I absolutely love, and I love the intro. Now, I'm not talking about the music in the intro. Don't get me wrong, I love the music in the intro. I have it on my iPod and I listen to it a lot. I'm sorry. But anyways, this little part of the intro, you hear a beautiful woman talk about what's going on with Sam. And the music in the background and the way she's talking about the show, honestly, makes me want to cry. Because damn, this girl put so much emotion and passion in that fucking intro, dude. Just take a listen to it, man.
Theorizing that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He awoke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, and driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
If you can't say that she put a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, and a lot of passion in just that little intro, then I can't convince you guys. I just physically, mentally, emotionally cannot convince you all that that girl made you feel something in your heart. If you didn't feel something, apparently you just don't have a heart, and that's probably why you like watching trash shit, like my videos. Thank you. And make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe as well. But anyways, let's talk about the show a little bit more. Now, Dr. Sam Beckett doesn't just leap into men all the time. He also leaps into kids and to women, and it actually makes the show better like that. It's not just men. Hell, he actually leaps into different races. So he can leap into a white woman, then leap into a black man, then leap into an Asian man. This show can do so many things, and that's why I absolutely fucking love it.
In the original history, Katie left town a week after the rape, and she never came back, not even when her dad died in '88.
So that's what I'm here for? To keep Katie in town?
Another thing about this show is when you watch a show, you might find a couple bad episodes. They're not the best, but in Quantum Leap, not one episode was bad. I quite enjoy every episode. Now you're probably thinking oh, you just have biased opinion. No, I finished the show last year as a new watcher. My dad told me about it, and that's why I watched it, and I fucking loved it. And in this show, every actor, every character in this show performed super well. They made those characters feel alive.
While we're at it, I think you should hang me too.
Sam, have you gone completely crazy?
Daddy! No, Daddy, you gotta stop this!
Because I don't want to live in a world where fear and hate hide behind a call for justice.
They promised me, Jesse. They promised me that they were going to clear these weeds.
Here, let me do this. Miss Milton. Let me do this.
On the street as he was fogged by a dropper called Clapper.
A dropper called Clapper?
Why would a dropper be after Phil?
Are you kidding? I bet Phil and Nick could put a dozen hard Harrys in the slammer. Any one of them could have paid a dropper to fog him.
You can feel the passion. You can feel the emotion that these actors put in these characters. Like, damn, man. What happened to acting nowadays, bruh? But this is why I love this show, man. So much emotion that goes into this show. And that's why I love Quantum Leap. But let's talk about some of my favorite episodes. Now, I picked out 4 episodes that I absolutely love. I love them because the emotion that goes into them, the story that goes into them, and of course, the passion that goes into them. So let's talk about my first pick.
What the hell?
So the first episode I want to talk about is the Americanization of Machiko. Now, nerds, this is my absolute favorite episode of all Quantum Leap episodes. Because this episode, it hits you so hard. It just gives you a big old bitch slap to the face and calls you a little bitch. That's how powerful this fucking episode was, man. So, it is 1953 and Sam leaped into a sailor that came back from Japan. Now, he went home and talked to his families until a police officer came by in his vehicle with a Japanese woman. So, guess what the Japanese woman said?
I'm most honored to meet the family of my husband.
Oh, shit!
Surprise!
Wait a minute!
That's right, guys. She is his wife. Now, why do I love this episode so much, and why is it very impactful in the show? Like I said, the era is the 50s. It is 1953. What happened 7 years ago? Oh, that's right, World War II. And who are we fighting in World War II? Oh, that's right, the Japanese. So, bringing a Japanese woman to America is fucking insane. Especially where a lot of people don't like the Japanese yet. It's like 7 years. Like, it's been 7 years. So they still might have that hatred for those damn Japanese people. And if you watch the episode, there's a lot of moments that makes your heart break for Machiko. Like, the actress that plays her is so fucking good. You want to root for her. You want to cheer her on. But America during that time was a disgusting fucking place to live. If you were a foreigner, like Machiko, or a German, or an African American, or I don't fucking know, English person. So living during the 50s as a foreigner was super fucking bad. A lot of racism going on, a lot of bigotry, a lot of hatred going on. So this episode was so fucking powerful, and there's some scenes that makes you wanna grab some people and really just beat the shit out of them, man.
He never accepted her. She had to go back to Japan alone and heartbroken, and she never remarried.
Charlie, where'd you learn to speak that gibberish?
What's your problem? You forget how to speak English?
This is why this is one of my favorite episodes in Quantum Leap, because it's so powerful in its meaning and its characters. And this episode was very hard to watch sometimes, because this show is not afraid to shine a spotlight to all the racism, all the bigotry, and all the hatred that's going on in this country. And not just racism, also sexist sometimes in episodes, and people that make fun of retardation and disability people. And an infamous episode called Jimmy. You probably heard of the meme, I'm retarded meme. Yeah, that came from Quantum Leap. But this is why I love this show, because it does not pull punches. And you gotta give credit to the fucking actors in this episode. They show that pure hatred for Machiko, and makes you want to cheer for her, man. Makes you want to cheer for her.
I hate Japs!
No, Tiny, please. No, Mike, please.
Sam, pop him one for me. Pop him right in the lip. Give him a fat lip.
More goes on to this episode that I want you guys to experience the episode for yourselves, because it is an incredible experience. But I will tell you the ending though, because I just have to tell you guys, because it's so fucking good, so perfect. So in the ending, Sam, who's the sailor, gets married to Machiko, and guess who shows up in a Japanese yukata? You wouldn't fucking believe it who shows up. What a perfect way to end an episode, boys. What a perfect way. The mother finally accepts Machiko, and their relationship can bloom into a beautiful one and have a real happy family. Well, that is so fucking good, and that's why the Americanization of Machiko is my absolute favorite episode of Quantum Leap. Now, don't get me wrong. All the other episodes of Quantum Leap are also fantastic, but something touched me inside my blackened heart while I was watching the Americanization of Machiko. It's so fucking good, man. Now let's talk about another episode that I absolutely love from Quantum Leap. Is an episode where Sam Beckett leap into a old black guy who went into a restaurant, went to a diner, and sat down in that diner. And by God, you should see all the hatred from all the white people that showed during that episode. Like I said, in this episode, Dr. Sam Beckett leaps into an old black gentleman named Jesse, who works with I guess you might call her old white bitch. So, there's one thing you have to learn about Sam. He really does not like racism. And who can blame him? It's such a stupid fucking thing. There's other things out there you should put your hatred more into, like the corruption of the government, or other bullshit that happens into the world, or everything that involves with fucking Twitter you might hate, or of course Chainsaw Man. Yep, got him. But during this episode is really fucking impactful and really powerful in its meaning, because if you do not like to hear the N-word in these films, do not watch this episode, because you're gonna hear it quite a lot in this episode, which it just shows you the impactfulness and the powerfulness of the episode that is going on in this episode.
Get such a stupid notion in your head.
Look, like I said, I was hungry.
Well, you take my advice, boy. You don't get that hungry.
Like I said in the other parts of the video, this episode is very powerful, very impactful in its meanings, and basically it's just shining a light on racism during, I believe this is in the 50s, where only whites walk on the side, only white people can drink the water fountain, only black people can drink the water fountain. How disgusting society it was back then, and it just shows you how bad it was, and that's why I love this episode. All the acting into this episode is so fucking good, man. And you remember that scene where Sam sit down in a white diner? Yeah, that costume later in the episode. Take a look what happened. Now, like I said, he was playing. He leaped into a old gentleman who has a family, and this what happens to his granddaughter when he sat down at the diner table, only for white people.
He had to move to Georgia because they're trying to teach that blue ship boy a lesson.
Toad, we ain't gonna kill him. We're just gonna whack him back into place a little bit.
In this episode, it gets even worse. When Sam finds her, he carries her into the car and drives to the nearest hospital. But there is a problem. And this problem will make you sick to your stomach, because it's fucking disgusting how we were in the 50s. It's fucking just, ugh.
Lost a lot of blood. I think she severed a temporal artery. She'll need a transfusion and a... What are you waiting for?
We don't accept colored here. I'm sorry.
Well, you're gonna be a hell of a lot sorrier if you don't help me, and I mean right now.
I'll call the sheriff. I can't help her. It's against the law.
The hell with the law.
She was going to die because they were not going to help her because she was black and not white. How absolutely fucking disgusting that is. I'm glad we don't live in that kind of era anymore. But there are some still racist people out there, and they're fucking disgusting human beings. But more stuff happened into the episode, which I'm not gonna say, because just like the Americanization of Machiko, I want you nerds to experience this episode for the first time. I want you guys to get emotional. I want you guys to enjoy the ride. Now, the next episode I'm gonna show you is now I said I was gonna talk about 4 episodes, but this is reaching the 24-minute mark, and I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day instead of watching me talk about how awesome Quantum Leap is. So, this next episode is about women, and Sam Beckett leaped into a secretary who was, how can I say this, getting sexually assaulted by her boss? Yeah. So let's talk about that episode, shall we?
You know, I didn't realize until I watched you walk through that door how incredibly beautiful you really are. Whenever I did, I'm sorry.
You
call you Samantha, and you can call me Big John. You're married.
So? Don't touch there, don't be nasty, says the silly bear. He's going to tell you what's right and wrong. Sexual harassment, panda.
Makes me a sad panda. Very sad panda.
Potassium? I don't want it. I don't want it. If you're gonna put something in my mouth, at least make it taste good.
Makes me a sad panda.
It's kind of weird to see a man hitting on Sam while wearing a woman's dress. Now, guys, you gotta remember, he leaped into a woman's body, so whatever she wears, he has to wear. So it's kind of weird, but also kind of funny, and I love it. Well, during this episode, Sam is getting sexually assaulted by his boss, and this ain't the first time he did. He did it multiple times with women and promised them marriage, you know, all that bullshit that goes on. And you think that's what the episode's all about, but it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper and deeper and goes deeper than that. But during this episode, a woman who's roommates with Sam had the same experience with the boss that Sam is doing right now, and she wants to marry him, so she goes to the boss's wife and saying, hey, I know you guys are getting divorced, I just want to make sure if I can help you any way I can, I'll help you. And the wife's like, listen bitch, we're not getting divorced, okay? I fuck men and he fucks women. That's how we do it. He's not gonna get rid of his status. He's not gonna get rid of his power, all because of that. And the woman broke down crying. It broke her to the point that she wants to commit suicide. And that's the point of this episode.
I love him, Sam. Even realizing what a fool he made of me, I still love him. And I can't pretend I don't. And I can't pretend the pain I feel isn't real and that it'll go away tomorrow.
Suicide won't change that.
It'll end it.
Basically what this episode is telling you about is a lot of women in America and around the world gets a sexual harassment, gets sexually assaulted, and eventually gets raped. It's a problem. It happens all over the world to women and of course to men as well. It's a huge problem, and this show gives you the spotlight of that happening. And there's more topics I would like to talk to you about this show, like they show spotlights of people making fun of disability people, or rape victims, or just other topics that happens in this show. And this show also gets deep with its fucking story. Like, there's an evil leaper. It's not really the best, but I kind of liked it. It's kind of cool. This show is so powerful in its meanings, and I'm so glad that I can finally get the chance to make this video for you guys, so I can show you why it's powerful. Everything about this show that I love the characters, I love the story, I love the meaning, I love the powerfulness, the impactness of this show. And that's the reason why a lot of people love anime, because anime just feels impactfulness. It has that power when you see some fucking very powerful episodes. Like, oh my god, Caesar's death fucking broke me, bro. Mind telling her family that she's going to die. You know, moments like that, and Quantum Leap has it all. It's a very powerful show, and I really want you to, I want you guys to really go on Peacock, because it's on Peacock, all the seasons on Peacock, and just watch it. You're gonna fucking love it. If you love deep, emotional shows that has meaning and, you know, powerness and all that jazz, I recommend Quantum Leap, guys. It's an incredible fucking show, and I'm so glad that I watched it. I felt so much emotion while watching that, like, TV show, and I'm glad I did. Well, anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I really do appreciate you guys actually watching my stupid ass content. It does make my day. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button to watch all the beautiful content Vibe provide. And also, do not forget to hit that notification bell Every time I make a new video, you get a notification on your lamp, your phone, your tablet, your, I don't know, your pink dildo thing, your remote saying, hey, Tolos made a new video. But anyways, guys, that's it for me, and I'll see you nerds later. Also, guys, go check out Quantum Leap. Honestly, it's a great fucking show, okay? Can't stop talking about it.